The sun broke out as the new occupants of number 10 arrived on Britain's most famous street. The welcome was warm for Keir and Victoria Starmer. His first words, a tribute to the man who'd just departed.
I want to thank the outgoing Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. His achievement as the first British Asian Prime Minister of our country, the extra effort that will have required should not be underestimated by anyone. And we pay tribute to that today. And we also recognise the dedication and hard work he brought to his leadership. But now our country has voted decisively for change, whether you voted Labour or not. In fact, especially if you did not, I say to you directly, my government will serve you. Our work is urgent, and we begin it today. Thank you very much.
His triumph is both historic and strange. The first Labour Prime Minister in 14 years enters Downing Street with a thumping majority, but his landslide lacked lustre, secured with fewer votes than Jeremy Corbyn got in 2019. It happened because the Conservatives experienced their worst ever defeat. Leaving his post earlier under more leaden skies, Rishi Sunak was heavy with humility.
To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. Whilst he has been my political opponent, Sir Keir Starmer will shortly become our Prime Minister. In this job, his successes will be all our successes, and I wish him and his family well. Whatever our disagreements in this campaign, he is a decent, public-spirited man who I respect.
Both leaders gracious in victory and defeat. It was a very British exchange of power. Mr. Sunak will stand down as Tory leader once the arrangements for his successor are in place. He headed to the palace to resign, ahead of Keir Starmer being commissioned to form a government by the King. This momentous day came after an extraordinary night. 12 cabinet ministers unseated, and Liz Truss, ousted as Prime Minister after 45 days, now rejected by her constituents, losing one of the safest Tory seats in Britain. The Conservative nightmare complete as their long-time tormentor Nigel Farage has become an MP. Heckled by a series of protesters, but his party reform got 4 million votes. Although, due to the electoral system, only a handful of seats to show for it.
It is very much my view that our outdated, first-past-the-post electoral system is not fit for purpose, and we will campaign with anyone and everyone to change this electoral system.
With fewer votes than Reform, the Lib Dems obtained vastly more seats. It was a night of sweet success for Ed Davey, and a morning of sober reflection.
Trust is a very precious commodity. It's hard won. And sometimes you've lost it, you lose it. And you have to work very hard to win it back. And I want to thank people for trusting us again. We will not let you down.
The Scottish nationalists lost big as Labour rebuilt its red wall north of the border, while the Greens picked up a record 4 seats. This afternoon, we saw the procession of new faces of government walking up Downing Street. A female Deputy Prime Minister in Angela Rayner, a female Home Secretary in Yvette Cooper, and the first ever female Chancellor, Rachel Reeves. It is a dramatic changing of the guard, with a party whose big promise is to change Britain. Jason Farrell, Sky News.